Hey guys, welcome to the what are we calling our podcast now?
Beta Bros Banter.
Oh yeah, that's right, the Beta Bros Banter podcast. This is Tito7177. Just call me D. Alongside me today is my cohort Ryan, aka ZeldaMariners.
Yes.
And we're bringing you episode 2. This is episode 2 now. We made it.
The Clone Wars. Oh,
yeah, the
sorry.
Clone Wars.
That's
Actually, that brings up a story. So yesterday, I was watching the Clone Wars.
Wait, really?
Before I got on Goo Game. No, it wasn't like the movie. It was a TV show.
The animated series.
But yeah, but not the OG one that was made in 03, but like the remake in 08.
Oh.
Yeah, that one. Because I was watching it with with our friend from high school.
Oh.
And dude. So what happened is like I messaged her on Instagram because you slip into those DMs as one should, and and then we talked. Yeah, and we talked for a while, and we're like, okay. And I was like, oh, but we were doing stuff at the time, and so I was like, oh, okay, I had to go back to work, and so I asked her like, oh, okay, can I just text you later? She says, all right, cool, and so I do, and we talk for like an hour and a half, and I don't even talk about the other person, but we talked for an hour and a half, and during that conversation, she's like, oh, I should study, but I'm gonna watch some Star Wars. I'm like, oh, hey, that's cool. I'll watch it with you. And we did. I watched 3 episodes yesterday alone.
Those are half hours.
That's like, well, there were 30 minutes on TV, so I'd say about 20.
Right, so it's like 20, yeah.
Yeah, about an hour's worth. Yeah, about an hour's worth of Star Wars, which is great. I mean, the show's awesome. Would highly recommend it to anybody who wants to get into Star Wars and didn't like the prequels. It makes everything, or sequels, I should say. They make everything that much better. Is it prequel? I guess prequel trilogy.
It'd be prequels.
Yeah, my bad.
The sequel
prequel
prequels.
trilogy. Yeah, exactly. the 1999 Star Wars. I watched it and I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. But I talked to her and then she's bringing out like cosplay and want to do all this stuff. And then she's like, oh, my boyfriend and I or BF and I are thinking about doing Anakin and Padme. And I'm like, hold up. In my brain, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Spent this entire time. Didn't mention
like,
the boyfriend.
Because I'm like, I remember going on her Facebook and her Instagram. I'm like, I don't see any dude. And then it didn't even dawn on me that the photo that she sent me from before, I think, has her boyfriend. But it was like cropped out. I'm like, you saw it. And so I'm like, what is this? What is this about?
Red flag.
That's what we call a red flag, gentlemen. Gentlemen, that's what we call a red flag. And ladies, that's what we call mixed signals. So I think we stopped talking maybe probably 30 minutes after I found out. And I was like, but he saw my conversation with her. I was like, I literally just like bypassed that whole thing. I was like, yeah. I'm just gonna waltz right past this glaring obstacle in my way. I'm gonna go around
Good
it.
old 3/4 waltz.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that was basically that. So that's where I stand with her. I thought we were hitting it off like pretty well, like as if we were like back in high school again. But man, dude,
yeah,
it was
maybe it was because maybe you guys weren't really anything back in high school,
But the thing is, I talked to her maybe like a few times, a few times in high school. It's not like we were hanging out all the time, but every time I was talking to her, it was like me flirting with her. So,
flirting is harmless.
Is it?
It's kind of weird to talk to someone that you haven't talked to in years for that long, and then watch TV together.
Yeah,
but apart.
Exactly. That's the weird part, right? Yeah. So I'm like, oh, did we just have a virtual date? Did I?
Probably not if she has a boyfriend.
That's why I'm confused. That's why I was so confused yesterday when I texted you. So.
I've been single for much longer than you, so I wouldn't know.
We'll fix that. Ladies, ZeldaMariners has
Oh,
great,
don't
fantastic
prompt the
credit.
internet. That is not a wise decision.
Who knows? You might get a Mariners fan, Star Wars
I mean, I would
fan.
love a Mariners fan.
I mean, we could find it. We could find one for you.
I mean, it's
We
kind
could.
of hard with baseball season kind of not happening at the moment.
This dude, man, there's a lot of fast pitch slash softball players out there.
I mean, I'd be okay with that because then I can be like, hey, do you want to join a softball team? Because I'm in one.
Exactly. Well, tell me about your league then. I mean, I know you were talking to a lady, and I know one of your fellow teammates really liked you, but you weren't really into her at the time.
Yeah.
Any,
That was a while ago.
yeah. Anything else since then? I mean, it's been a while. I mean, the season has been off for a little bit, but was there anybody else in that league?
Not really. Most of the
Oh
people
man.
are older.
Okay.
I feel like I'm one of
Okay.
the younger peeps in the league.
I gotcha. Like they're all like in their mid-30s.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them that like have kids, so like the kids are there, kind of a thing.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on getting into a relationship when the opposite has kids already?
Um, I don't know. It's kind of like situational. I think for me,
Hmm.
depends on like how much I like that person. I mean,
Okay.
ideally, I would rather them not have kids, or at the very least, still want more.
Okay. Okay.
Cause like I want to have kids of my own, you know.
Yeah, I totally get that.
And
But does it
I think
bother
it
you?
depends on like the situation with the father too. Like I don't know. I personally, at this point in my life, would feel awkward being like a step parent when the actual like biological father is still in the picture somehow. It would just kind of be weird for me.
I get that.
And
I
especially
get
like
that.
depending on how old the kid is. Like if the kid's like 7 or 8, then it's like more weird than if the kid's like 1 or 2.
Oh yeah, because it'd be like you had the kid when you're like 21 essentially. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
it's
like
like
yeah.
yeah.
Um,
So I think it's like situational, but overall, I think I would prefer someone who doesn't have kids yet and wants kids.
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah,
I
it's
feel like because we're 29, so
yeah, yeah.
like finding someone in their mid 20s that doesn't have children yet is pretty common. I think.
And that for me is the biggest I guess snag when it comes to finding people, I guess our age but at our level of, stability. Because I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are still trying to figure things out. And
Yeah,
you and
I
I
mean, I'm not in the most stable position, like as far as work environment.
but you know what you're gonna go into. Like there's no it's not like you're
Yeah, I have an idea. I don't.
yeah,
I'm not ready to take that step yet,
yeah. But
but I
but at
guess
least
I have that idea in mind of what I want to do.
or like you already have the means to get to that position if it's available.
Yeah, I mean, it's if one was ready right now, I don't think I'd be ready for like a job interview.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Just because I've been like
That's
out
fair.
of the like
Out of
practice
the
of what
game.
I want to do
Yeah.
for so long.
Yeah.
I feel like I would need to like brush up on coding.
Do you feel like do you have a time limit as to when you would take another job within that sector?
I mean, I mean, now is when I should be studying, because when like business goes
'Cause-
back to normal after this whole outbreak thing is done,
Yeah.
that's really when I should be jumping for a job. That's when people are going to be opening up for jobs, you know?
Now, how's that work with entry level positions in your space? Like, do you have to? Are they more inclined to take somebody who's fresh out of school, or or are they okay with somebody who's had? Like, I mean, you had like what
I had
two, 3 years? Yeah, 3 years of
Yeah.
experience.
So, yeah, see, I think I'm in
Um,
that weird, like, in between position where
you're,
I have, like, more experience than what they want for an entry level, but then, like, not enough for, like, a mid level. Like, a lot of places I saw were looking for, like, 5+ years.
yeah,
And so, like, with 3, I'm kind of in this weird, like, limbo spot
You're like
where I feel like I
overqualified
should be.
essentially.
Yeah, I feel like I should just be like applying for entry level, just because it'd be new. It'd be a new spot because I don't think I want to do like exactly what I was doing at my previous
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd be like learning new things anyway. But I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know if like they'll look at that and be like, "Oh, he has experience already. We want something fresh out of college," you know, like you were saying.
Yeah, it's tough because every year it's a new batch. Every year it's a cheaper class to pay. I guess you know what I mean. It's like
Yeah.
you filter
Yeah,
out
and that's the
the
thing too is
top
the pay
end.
grade. Like,
Yeah, go for
and
it.
I haven't researched it. I don't know what an entry level like job would pay for what I'm doing.
Hmm.
Let's see. If I went to firmware, entry level firmware engineer salary, Seattle. Glassdoor, I guess, is a decent website.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Base pay. Wait, this is just firmware engineer in general.
Oh.
Years of experience here, 0 to 1. 88,000.
That's pretty good for just like 0 year experience.
I like how I was able to see this answer, and then the thing popped up that said, "Oh, you have to pay for this info."
You have to pay for this.
Like, yeah, like it's one of those like it's like the subscription things for newspapers where you can like click on the article and you see the whole article. Like the article loads before the pop-up message of like, "Hey,
before
you
the
need a
paywall comes in?
subscription." Yeah. So you can like Control A and select all before the paywall thing pops up.
That's called a bad software engineer.
It's just the way it loads.
I know. Yeah, it's all Java at this point.
Yeah. So it looked like it said 88 for no experience for a firmware engineer.
Okay, that's cool.
Which is something I would be interested in.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. Man. That's like at least 30K more than what I'm making now as a resident.
I mean, but you're under like residential salary.
Yeah, and I'll be under that for another 3 years. So that's gonna be rough, man. That's gonna be sub 70,000 for the next 3 years again.
I mean, yeah, that's still more than a lot of people are making, you know.
That's true. That is true. But my debt to income ratio is
Oh
ridiculous.
yeah, I mean you're under medical debt, so
I have a house and a half. Let's call it that now. But
yeah.
I mean, I like what I do. I can't complain. I think everybody's gone through this, knows the risks before they jump in.
Yeah.
But no, man. I mean, for you to get that sort of position at that entry level, like, do you have to move again? Like, do you feel like you would have to leave the state to get that?
No.
Okay.
I feel well. So the thing with Seattle is there's a lot of like engineering positions, but a lot of them are like high level software positions.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say
Okay.
how much of my stuff is actually here.
Yeah, that's why I bring it up because I know, like the last company you were at, like that was like one of their main headquarters, right? Or was that their big one?
Yeah, that was their main ones, but there's not a lot of stuff out there, you know.
Yeah, I do. I totally get that. It's not really the most hip, I guess, thing to do or place to be.
Yeah.
If you're not going to college there, or if you're, trying to live life outside of work.
Yeah. And that was my thing, is I was just too far from things that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was too far from the ocean. I was too far away from the greenery. I was too far away from my friends. I was too far away from the Mariners. So.
Yeah, would you consider moving to like Portland or like parts of Oregon?
See, I think I would have if I was still in Boise, but I think having been back home now, I don't think I want to
Yeah,
leave the Puget Sound area again.
that makes sense. Have you looked at like alternative places, Boeing,
See, I
and
haven't really looked recently. Like, I
okay,
looked when I first came back,
okay,
and I haven't really, like, shopped around since then.
gotcha. Okay, okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's just in remembering your situation from before. It was like, dude, you're ready to come back. Like you're like, I need to come back now.
I was, like, not in a good place mentally when I was living there.
Yeah, man. Um, it was so much just the place you were at, right? It wasn't even so much the job itself. Was it
Yeah,
just
the
or was
job
it
was
everything?
okay,
Yeah.
but, yeah,
Was
it
it not just
was...
not fulfilling for you?
Yeah, the job wasn't doing it for me, and the people, I just didn't like the people I was around. And I
It
didn't
was a
like the area.
yeah.
Like, I just didn't like the location.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
Oh man, would you
So
move
it
out
was a
if
combination of things.
if you find a place out here? Would you move out and move in with me for 3 years?
Uh, that's a long time, man.
That is a long time.
As much as I definitely could manage living with you easily, I don't. The location, it's too far. It's just too
It is.
far.
I totally get that. I totally get that for sure. Because you'd be like, yeah, you'd be away from. Either you're away. You're away from everything.
Yeah. I mean, at least
Yeah,
I'd have you.
that's
Uh,
true. We'd
but
be hanging out. We'd be making higher quality podcasts. That's what we. That's what I'm saying.
yes, we'd be making higher quality everything probably.
Our place would be hella souped up and with
But
hella nerdy stuff.
just for the sake of argument, what's out there that I could work at?
There is Boeing out here.
I mean,
Uh, at least
I don't know.
pretty
I don't
close
know
to
how
where I
much
live.
Boeing has for my.
I
I
mean,
guess we can share it. I have a computer engineering degree,
yeah.
so I don't know. I don't know what's out there. I don't know what Boeing has for computer engineers.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember the firms out here that would be good for you.
But as far as what I can see on I just made an account on Glassdoor since we were talking about it.
Oh yeah.
Based on like computer engineer, hardware engineer, firmware engineer, embedded system engineer, average like base pay for 0 to 1 years of experience is between like 88 and 90K. Is what I'm seeing. So it's pretty good for no experience, essentially.
Have you looked
And
into
I'm sure
like?
if they ask for a range, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm seeing, 90 to 110. So,
I would say 100 to 110. If they give you 90, then you say okay.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, I usually start with, like, if they ask about salary, I'd be like, oh, I'm looking for something competitive in the market. And then if they ask specifically, then I'll be like, I'll throw something higher than normal.
gotcha.
I'll be like, oh, I'm seeing, like, this much. Like, the mode here is, like, 100, I think. So I'd probably say that.
Oh, cool. Okay. Would you do like support in like because you don't for you like the last job you want is like IT, right?
Yeah, because that's, like, IT is, like, below engineering degree pay grade.
Yeah, it's like a high school diploma, right?
Yeah, IT is like I mean, you can get like IT degrees from like technical colleges. Most of them I think are like 2 year degrees.
Gotcha. Okay. Like, but they're
And
like
that's more just like,
certifications.
that's more like, IT is more like software troubleshooting. Like,
Yeah.
so it's not as much like producing and maintaining code. So,
It's interesting because a lot of the jobs that I remember seeing before when we were talking about it, there are a lot of software stuff, which is interesting to me because I thought they would like, offshore a lot of this, a lot of these jobs because you don't really need to be in a specific office for it.
Well, I think it's just the fact that the main hubs of these places like Microsoft is in Redmond, so
Mm,
they're gonna hire a lot of people to be there, just because it's easier.
gotcha.
Whereas like customer support is like you can offshore cheap, but when you're bringing people in for like your main engineering type stuff, I think it's just easier to have in your main offices.
I see. Yeah, a lot of
Because like
a
even
lot
though
of
you can
these.
all do it on the computer, it's just easier.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of these places that I'm looking at. They're all like, I want to say like 40 to an hour away from like the Philly area proper, which has
Yeah.
been like a recurring trend for like a lot of like comp engineering jobs.
Mm.
They're kind of like out there, like away, because I guess there's a manufacturing component that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not really like in like downtown or like um, in a large hub. They might be like surrounding the hub, but it would be a drive to get to.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have Pottstown, Harrisburg. Those are places that are pretty far away from Philly, at least if you're trying to stay in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, not great, but there are options. Um,
I mean, my commute's like an hour plus anyway.
True. Yeah. So what you been up to, man? Anything fun today?
Uh, I started showing uh, housemates what that Mariners series I was talking about last time, the SB
Oh yeah,
Nation
yeah.
one.
Hmm.
Yeah, because we have baseball fans. I live with baseball fans, so
Yeah.
it was fun to show
That's
them,
good
catch
stuff.
them up, get
Oh yeah.
them up to
Get them going.
speed on this
All right.
amazing series that's keeping me sane through COVID without baseball.
Dude, and you've been a dude, and baseball like it's your first love, right? It's um,
Oh yeah.
when did you first like your first experiences with baseball? Like, do you remember like your first game? Was it like watching games at home?
I don't remember like going to my first game. I remember going to the Kingdom and like
Yeah,
walking the ramps
yeah,
to
yeah,
to
yeah.
get to seats and stuff, but I don't specifically remember any games. Um, it's just always been something that I've been interested in, and like I know my dad's told me like, oh, I would like memorize players' batting averages as a kid and be like, oh yeah, this guy's batting 280 and blah blah blah. So
That's
I think
cool.
I've always just been that like stat head baseball
Hmm.
nerd.
Hmm. That's awesome. Um,
Yeah,
and your favorite player has always been Edgar. Was it
always
any
been Edgar.
always nobody else before him?
Yeah, like I even found Little League. In Little League, they would like have pictures for you, and you would have like your own baseball card, and so you got to fill in like your age, your weight, your height, and then like a couple like favorites questions. And one that I found was, I think from my second or third year in Little League, so I must have been like 9, and it
Dang.
was like, oh, who's your favorite player? And on that card it says Edgar Martinez. So I'm like, heck yeah, little Ryan, he knows. So I think
Hmm.
he's always been my favorite.
Nice, nice.
I don't know why. Just Edgar Martinez, number one.
Yeah, dude, his batting style is so unique, and even watching the tape of him talking about it and seeing other players now trying to emulate it, it's like that's a good style.
Yeah, and
Uh,
he didn't do much. Like I don't know.
he couldn't. He wouldn't be able to outrun like Griffey, but man,
No.
could he try to match him up when it came to batting averages and getting on
Oh yeah,
base?
no. Edgar had a better batting average than Griffey did,
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
and a
he's
better
like a
on
hit
base
guru.
percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing though, and that's the thing where people are like, "Oh no, David Ortiz is the best designated hitter." It's like, no, no, Edgar's the best designated hitter because to be a designated hitter, you have to be a hitter, right?
Yeah.
David Ortiz, I'll give him credit. He's a great batter. He'll hit home runs. He'll drive in runs. But Edgar was a better hitter. Like, he got on base more than David Ortiz. And I feel like that helps the team more. Like, clearing the bases, getting home runs, RBI, sure. But I think if you get on base more,
Yeah.
you're helping the team more.
Well, I think what people understand is that highlight reels don't necessarily equal production. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Like Ortiz is good.
And I think
So
the fact that Edgar played in Seattle his whole career kind of undermined him a little bit because we're like in the freaking
tucked away.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's great. Like David Ortiz is great, but I think there was a little bit of inflation because this guy was like bombing home runs left and right.
Yeah. Well, and he also played for Boston, who's like basically perpetually a good team.
That's true.
So that helps him too. And like you said, he's a great player. He's going to be a Hall of Famer for sure. But as far as the conversation of best designated hitter, I got to give it to Edgar.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, let's hope that they're able to, continue to recognize Edgar's greatness. I mean, he did get in the Hall of Fame, but I feel like there was always like a lot of like conflict.
I think that's the last step. Is he got to the Hall of Fame, and it wasn't like he squeaked in. It was over like 82% of the vote voted yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's
pretty
think
solid.
And I think a lot of it changed when, I guess when like a lot of the older, newscasters were like, I guess he deserves a chance, and more younger guys coming into the voting system.
Yeah,
so.
I think there were a couple big things that really pushed him. One was just the like overwhelming support from like the Mariners organization and other players that got inducted. Like Griffey and Randy, I think both said like, "Oh, Edgar deserves to be here," and the Mariners like pushed hard to get him in. And I think the other thing is that like with sabermetrics and stuff, it's just like digging deeper into players' numbers, and you got to see like how much more Edgar actually did than just like, oh, he has 300 home runs and 500 doubles.
Oh, that makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, they actually looked deeper into his numbers, and they're like, holy cow, this guy could hit the ball. And like, sure, that's all he did, but he did it day in and day out consistently, and not very many people can do that at the DH position. That's
true. Yeah, he's
otherwise you'd see that for everybody.
Player. Oh yeah, exactly. Oh man.
And that's why like you see all those numbers, and like it's Edgar Martinez and David Ortiz, and then nobody else is close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me it was always like, man, if you name an award after a player, but in baseball already honored him in that manner, how's he not in the Hall of Fame?
Right. Literally the position award named after him, and he's not in the Hall. What?
Yeah, that kills me, man.
Yeah. Ugh. So yeah, baseball's always been that special place in my heart. That's never going away. And I have to find someone who's okay with that at least.
Bring it back.
Yeah, exactly. Back to the point of what we were saying before.
Exactly.
Because that's what I'm gonna do. Like after work or over the weekend, is I'm gonna have the game on every day, the entire season. So whoever's with me is gonna have to, at the very least, deal with that. Yeah.
She has to at least tolerate it.
Yeah.
Although knowing you, man, I don't think you would date a girl who's not into baseball.
I feel like they have to be into baseball.
Yeah, there's like two things in life. You have to be into baseball and tolerate Star Wars. Like,
I mean, I can be okay if they don't like Star Wars.
But man, you're gonna be talking about Star Wars a lot. Like,
I know, and it's fine if she just rolls her eyes and she's like, "Ah, whatever, Star Wars." As long as she's not like, "Oh, why don't we watch Real Housewives of Who Cares?" Then I'll be like, "Oh God, who are you?"
The Bachelor or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, fine. Have your guilty pleasures, whatever. Just
yeah, right.
Don't diss me for watching baseball if you're gonna watch that crap.
Mm-hmm.
Is my thing. I just don't like reality shows. That's all that is, really.
Yeah, I never liked reality shows even from the beginning. Like, you remember when I think it was like VH1, MTV? Those are like the OG like reality TV and the E.
Oh yeah.
It's like you turn the channel like, oh man, another one of these Flavor Flav type shows.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just don't understand the appeal, I guess, of watching other people just have drama in their everyday life.
Well, I think a lot of it for me was like, man, this is I watch wrestling and that's sort of fake, and I'm watching this like this is all fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing is that like how real are the people when they know the camera's on them the entire time?
it's like people. It's like a fake documentary that's
Right.
happening in real time.
And like the thing with like you bring up wrestling, it's yeah, it's fake, but they would create these storylines that at least back in the day got you invested in the wrestlers. And I more watched for those storylines than for the actual wrestling.
Oh, for sure. And it's like, dude gets body slammed. Like that hurts.
Yeah.
Like I've been slammed on a ring before, and that hurts like hell.
Yeah.
Um,
And they
I
have to
can
train
imagine
for all
doing
that,
that.
so that you don't
Yeah.
hurt yourself.
Yeah,
It's
like
basically they're basically just like being a stunt man every
Yeah.
single day.
yeah. That's exactly it. And they have to do their own acting. They have to.
Yeah.
I mean, they get their own lines, but then they have to feed it. Like,
Yeah, and there's just people that are better at that than others. Like The Rock
Mhm.
on the microphone was amazing, whether you gave him lines or not. Like he could play the crowd and
Yeah.
make fun of his opponent at the same time.
that's that communications degree going to work, man.
Does he have a comm degree?
Yeah, he has a comm degree from Miami.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there you go. I
So
mean, he
that's-
played football, right? So it makes sense that they have a comm
Yeah, he
degree.
played. I can't remember if he played the year after they won the shared national championship or what.
Shared national championship.
I know, right? Oh no! I think he won the national championship. I think he was actually there, in '91.
Okay,
Yeah, he
that's
played.
pretty
for it.
cool.
Yeah.
I know he played.
But he only played like 1 year, and then
Oh, really?
and then yeah. Well, the problem was, oh, I guess he played more, but the problem was Warren Sapp, legendary Warren Sapp, decided to play, and he took his job, and he took it like he went up to the Rock and was like, "I'm gonna take your job," and some expletives, and then he was like, he's a freshman,
And some expletives.
and the Rock's like, "Who are you?"
That's
And
funny.
he did, and then he took his job. That's
I
sad.
never knew that. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
But the thing is, Warren Sapp is the reason why
Who's
the
Warren
Rock.
Sapp? He's only a Hall of Famer, whatever.
I know, right? It's like, yeah, number 99. Oh man, yeah, Hall of Famer. Man, Super Bowl champion ×1, I think. And then I think he went to Pro Bowl 6 or 7 times or something. So, I mean, good for him. That dude was a boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, yeah, a girl needs to love certain things in life, or at least have her own
Yeah.
convictions about certain things that I have to be
Yeah.
like either I'm cool with or, all right, I'm not gonna watch that, but if you ask me to, I'll sit down and watch it.
Yeah. I mean, there's most shows where I'll deal with.
Oh yeah,
Alright. Yeah. And like I get it. Just don't make me watch. If you're gonna watch reality shows, don't make me watch it,
yep.
and I'm okay. Like, that's the thing too. Is like I say that, but then I turn around and say, "Oh, she has to like baseball," but that's just how I am. I'm not gonna be able to be with someone who's not into baseball.
Mm,
And if that person can't be with someone who isn't into reality TV, then obviously we're not gonna work. But if this person is okay with me not wanting to watch reality TV, then hey, that's good. Like I'm not gonna dictate the relationship, but there's just certain deal breakers for their party and mine, you know?
yeah, that's true. I'm gonna pivot to something really random. But,
Oh, good. Second.
finding that it's May 2nd. It is I think, what is it now? The 22nd anniversary of the Battle of Hogwarts.
Oh.
It's the Battle of Hogwarts.
Ooh, I didn't know the Battle of Hogwarts was on May 2nd.
May 2nd,
Oh.
1998.
Ooh,
Yes.
that is a fun piece of trivia.
It is.
I like that.
On this date, Voldemort and Harry Potter went mano a mano, trying to, try to set
Yeah.
the entire world on fire.
Gosh. Okay. Yeah, Battle of Hogwarts. Okay. I don't know how many listeners are Harry Potter fans, but I'm a
Oh,
huge Harry Potter fan.
yeah, I love Harry Potter. I'm not as big as fan as like a lot of our friends, but I'm totally into it. I'll hang out at Hogsmeade.
Yeah, I mean it's just one of those worlds that gets created that a lot of people just totally get into,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just fun. And people shitting on it is just I don't know.
Oh, we'll get back to remind me to go back to hater culture because that stuff's pissing me off right now. But we'll go back to that.
The whole cancel culture shit.
Oh goddamn.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, Battle of Hogwarts. Yeah, that was an epic day in the Wizarding world.
Oh yeah, dude. Do you remember the scenes from the movie?
Like which ones? I
Like the
remember
one,
many
like the actual battle itself.
between Harry and Voldemort.
Oh, just in general when the war first started.
Yeah,
Because
so
I
like
remember, yeah, go ahead.
I know it started. It started with like the professors and all that, like preparing the school for like they get the defensive stuff up. So they put like the like shield around the school,
That's right. Yeah, the
and
enchantment.
yeah, and McGonagall had like the
The Stone Army or
what
whatever
are
that
those like
was.
the yeah whatever those knights were.
Oh, I
Kind of
guess, I guess,
protect.
I guess they're like suits of armor. So I guess Metal Army.
Yeah, but it was all you know locomotionized.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So like statues.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. That's pretty
you
cool.
know, magic stuff.
That
Yeah,
was,
and
that was
then
an epic
the
scene.
Death Eaters started like bombarding it, and they couldn't
Mm-hmm.
get through. And then Voldemort just like went "Bleh!" and then broke the barrier. Yeah, you know how he does things. And then that set that up. All the meanwhile, like Harry, Ron, and Hermione were trying to figure stuff out, and they ended up finding Snape.
Mm-hmm.
And then they found out Snape was the good guy the whole time.
Oh yeah,
And
dude,
Harry
that was
understood
so
what he had to
sad.
do.
Yep.
Dude, that was the at least like reading the book. It was like, what?
I know, right?
Oof.
Oh, yeah, because there's
It's
a
like
lot of pieces happening.
yeah, because like Snape was not a fan of Harry, mostly because he looked like James. But
Yep.
it was like, dude, the whole time we were like, I hate this guy, and then at the end you're like, I love this guy.
If only we knew. If
I
only
know,
we
right?
knew.
Oh, Battle of Hogwarts,
What a way to turn an audience on a character.
right?
Like you have these preconceived notions, which start off as more like elementary esque, you know, like oh he's a bully, he's a mean teacher. Yeah, at our age, you know,
Yeah,
you're like oh I don't like that guy because he's mean, and then you continue that trend. Things start to escalate a little bit. He goes red coat, you know, and then at the end he's like oh he was a double agent.
yeah. The
So
biggest double agent. He was like a double agent because
yeah,
at first
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like, oh man, he double crossed the Order of the Phoenix for Voldemort, and then it's like, no, he double crossed the Order of the Phoenix for Voldemort, but then double crossed Voldemort for Dumbledore, even in
Yep.
Dumbledore's death.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's
And then
love. That's amore.
that's Amore.
Yeah, it was all for frickin' Lily. It's all crazy love, even though you can't have her.
You know, man, all Snape had to do was just seal the deal.
I think he got like hella friend zoned, and like
Yeah, that's
just
true.
because like Snape still had that like uh Death Eater pure blood mentality, even though he was a half blood,
Mm-hmm.
and Lily wasn't about that. Although I don't know why she went after James, because James seemed like a dick too.
Well, I think that's what I mean. That's how guys get attention, right? It's like you put yourself out there, and you exude some form of confidence. It may not be the most positive in the you know the context of like being good, but it's still like that's the reason why girls go after bad guys. You know. That
I
old
guess.
saying, because they're just super confident enough to go up to a girl and be like, "Hey, what's up?"
I
Um,
guess so.
so,
I also think there's that thing about like people try to get with people they think they can fix.
oh, that's true.
I
That's
never
true.
understood that.
I I think for them it's like a fulfilling thing. Because I've heard this from other girls I've talked to who you ask them like, why do you go after these random guys? You know, if they're like friends and they're like, oh, I don't. It's like the initial answer was like, I don't know. I liked them. Um, and then he like did this and then that, and I'm like, so why'd you stay? He's like, oh,
Yeah.
I thought he'd change. I'm like, man, I mean, like, it's like there's certain things that will change in a person, but like being a bad person is not one of those things. Like,
Yeah.
you can redeem yourself, you can do positive things for the world, but more often than not, you're gonna revert at some point or another under stress to your old ways. Um,
Yep.
and it's always like, why would
Yeah.
you
And I
subject yourself
always
to all
I
that?
always find it like especially interesting for people that are like in abusive relationships and how hard it is for them to get out of that.
That's tough. There's a
Cuz
lot of
just
factors
like
there.
cuz just like
Yeah.
thinking about it, it's like why would you stay with someone who's abusing you? But then like there's just so much more that goes into it than just presenting the situation on that level.
Yeah, yeah. I did some research on this for a paper, let's say about a year ago, uh, and a lot of it boils down to socioeconomics and
Mm,
the necessity of that person that they're living with. It's almost like blackmail, but it's essentially is blackmail. It's like you're providing a service, like if you're the abuser, to said person in order for them and then in return they will do whatever you need of them, or else they lose whatever you're providing. So
yeah.
housing, it's a steady, it's not a lot of
Well,
income,
and I
but
think
a
they kind
steady
of like
amount of
try to
money.
cut the abusee off, like the victim. They try to cut them off of ways that the victim can kind of like either escape or like get what the person's providing elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, why do you need to talk to them about this? Just talk to me. And
Yeah, it's a lot.
it kind
Yeah,
of
it's a
like
lot.
locks them in.
Yeah, because the issue is if you rebel, then you're out, right? Then you're SOL and you're out of the house, or you're stuck on the
Right.
streets. So it's this catch 22
That's
of they
crazy.
know where the resources are, but I think there's the lack of time. At least
Yeah.
that's the perception. So
Yeah, it's
it's
just
sad.
crazy. It's sad. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like hearing people's stories, it's like, oh my god, that's terrible. And it's terrible that people like do that to other people.
yeah, and in my position, like you hear it every so often, and you're like, ooh, that's a situation I don't even know if I can or want to breach.
Right.
Um,
Can you like if you notice stuff like in your like if someone comes in and like you can tell like the mom is like suffering, can you do
yeah,
anything?
I can, and it's usually in the context of the child. If I feel there's child endangerment, then I'll do it.
Okay.
Uh, and then in that case, it's not because the parent is the person who reported. It's me, based on my own personal experience with said family. Um,
Mm,
it's tougher when the kid is younger, like
yeah.
like below the age of speaking,
Right.
or
Because then you
if
can't like talk to them about it.
correct, and you try your best to sort of see if there's anything um, physical that you can use as evidence if the parent doesn't want
Yeah.
to explain, or see something on the parent themselves, whoever brings them in, about what's happening. The problem
Hmm.
is, and I see it all the time, is that the abuser comes with them to the visit, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
and
So they're like, oh, that's nothing. They just fell on the playground or something.
exactly. But those are the situations where then I could be like, oh, I can call you out on your crap, and I'm gonna put you in jail. So that's
Yeah.
those are the times when I'm figuring that, oh, and I can really do some good in this situation.
Right.
So
And are there times where you're able to talk to the kid like without that person in the room?
yeah,
So like
it
even if it's like the abuser that brought him in, it's like okay, I need to talk to the kid without you in here. Can you do
yeah,
that?
and I usually frame it in the context of at this particular age, I usually like to talk to them alone, without a parent in there,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes they like to talk about stuff or ask questions that they may deem to be too embarrassing to ask in front of a parent. Um,
Yeah.
and if there's any bad stuff that I need to worry about, I don't mention that part to the parents. That
Right.
then I'll either report it or we'll try to dig into it a little bit more and go from there. I've only had maybe a couple that I suspected that didn't want to leave the room, so
Mm.
we kind of double teamed it with my attending, and we were able to get things moving. But
Yeah.
in other situations, like I'll go in there by myself and really get the clues that I need to say yes, no, or I don't know, but I need you to see these people to help kind of move things along. If it's like overtly like an emergent situation, yeah, I get them out of there, like
Yeah.
without question. But I
That's
do it
crazy though
subtly.
that you've actually had to deal with that.
Yeah, it's tough, and I think it's a
I mean,
lot
it's
of it.
awesome too though that you're able to like actively like that's like a direct like thing that you're doing to help like this family.
Yeah, and I find that those are the like some of the most rewarding things to do. I just don't see myself doing that forever. It's like
Yeah.
a career. It's like some people do it. Some people go into that realm of a specialty, and they're able to be like, oh yeah, I know how to. I'll do this on a daily basis. Me, it's like, well, I could probably do a handful of those at a time without my brain
Yeah.
starting to feel warped from
One
all
like
the
with
craziness.
the specialty that you're going after, I don't know how often you'd see that because you're it kind of more seems like more chronic conditions
They do,
that you're going
and
to be seeing.
a lot of it's going to be neglect, and that's really where a lot of the reports that I see now are coming in is through neglect, and most of it's because
Mm.
of socioeconomic reasons. So, can you really blame them for not coming? Maybe, but it really depends on the context of who they live with, what's going on at the house, etc. So you try to get as much social background as you can in a lot of these groups of
Sure.
people. So, but yeah, you're right. It's not going to be as much. Um, but the people that I work with right now, we've done some good jobs in this last month. So they're like, hey, can we run by some cases with you just for you to take a look at? And I told them, yeah, whatever. So I'll continue to do it, but at least I'll be in a limited context and not something overtly every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Um, try to see here. So we were talking about the Battle of Hogwarts. Um,
Yes. The Battle of Hogwarts.
dude, there were
You took the Potterboard test, right?
yeah. Well, you remember when I took it like the first 4 or 5 times, and I kept getting
I
different
remember you
houses.
getting like all of the houses at some point.
I was like, I am the one. No, it's like you get. I think the initial house I got was like maybe Hufflepuff, and then I took it again just for curiosity, and then I got Ravenclaw, and then it was
And
Slytherin
then
and
that's when you were like,
Gryffindor.
wait, hold on. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I gotta retest this again, and then I kept doing that, and I'm like, well, what's going on here? So I did it again. And I'm like, oh, Gryffindor. All right, I got Gryffindor twice in a row. I guess that's the one.
Yeah, yeah. See, I was kind of I also took it multiple times, but it was more for like I wanted more data points.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when
yeah.
I first took it, I got Ravenclaw, and I was like, okay, that makes sense, but I want to be sure.
Yep,
So I took it again, and I got Ravenclaw. I was like, okay, that's pretty accurate.
yep.
Okay, and then I took it again later, and I was like, Ravenclaw again. Okay, perfect. I want to do this kind of one more time just to see. And looking back, I got Ravenclaw all 4 times. Looking back, it's a very like Ravenclaw thing to go take it 4 times just to be sure you're a Ravenclaw.
That's true.
It's more like I need more data to make this logical conclusion. Oh, that's kind of a Ravenclaw thing.
Yeah, mine was more out of necessity of identity
Yeah, because you're like,
crisis.
wait, what's going on here? Why did I get 4 in 4 turns?
I tried doing the one for the like the new for the new class or new school, but I also kept getting different things. I think I ended up getting it was like the Thunderbird.
Ooh, I was a Thunderbird.
Yeah, so I
All
got
four
that.
times.
Oh yeah, nice.
I was Ravenclaw. Yeah, Ravenclaw Thunderbird all 4 times.
I got like the Thunderbird, and then like I think it was like what's it, Wampus?
Wampus is one of them, yeah.
Yeah, so I got that and Wampus. But I think I ended up getting Thunderbird like twice. So I was a Gryffindor and a Thunderbird.
Hell yeah, we're in the same house for the American school.
Yep.
Which is the one we would have gone to anyway, so hey.
I know, right? That'd have been yeah, exactly.
Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds.
When I read the descriptions, I was like, I can see myself being a Thunderbird. And then I took the test, and there you go.
Yeah, I think that fits a lot of our description. Like you, myself, some of our friends in our group, like we kind of fit that mold. We would have all been like in the same class together.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is the houses that our friends got for Hogwarts and stuff really fit them too.
Oh, that's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always felt like, at least in the European realm, it's like, I guess I could fit Hufflepuff. I guess I could fit parts of Ravenclaw. Part of my personality could fit into Slytherin. More of the like, trying to get to the top idea. But
yeah, I think the thing with like Slytherin and Gryffindor is that they're actually pretty similar. It's just like
motive.
It's almost like the lengths at which they would go to achieve the greatness that they want.
Yeah, you're right.
And like Gryffindors will operate under the boundaries of the rules given and maybe kind of bend them, but then Slytherins will just straight up break it.
Yeah, in order to achieve whatever they want. That's true.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, even like before Harry Potter and friends end up going to school, like this is like first book. Like, dude, like Hufflepuff was killing it, man. They're like the top. They're like the top team in the entire school when it came to like.
Oh, were they?
Yeah. It's like Quidditch, and I think in the House Cup. I think they were like probably number 1 at the time, and all of a sudden Slytherin decided to like be badass.
That's funny. I never actually looked into
weird,
like the history of like how the schools were like pre Harry Potter's existence in the school.
Yeah, it's like there's no like it's no surprise that it switched to those two because like that would make sense for the entire storyline. But yeah, I think it was Hufflepuff that was like running the school.
Yeah, it's interesting to look at like past Harry Potter things, like pre-Harry Potter. I don't really know any of the history. J.K. Rowling's done a lot of stuff. I don't know if like Pottermore still has all that like pre-Hogwarts stuff. Do you know?
They should. I don't think they've ever taken it out. So
interesting.
Yeah. I'm trying to look right now at the House Cup because I might have been mistaken. About Hufflepuff.
You bungled it.
I bungled it because from 86 to 90, it looks like Slytherin had won it. Oh, sorry, 91.
Oh, dang.
Slytherin was killing it, but 85 was either Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, or Ravenclaw. And so,
nice.
How old like what year did they start?
I don't remember. I want to say it was like the 90s.
Okay. Slytherin would have won.
I can check right now too. Harry Potter. 1991 is when Harry Potter started.
Oh, good year. Good year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a good year. We were born in that year.
The
Washington Huskies should have won the national championship that year.
They did, but it was shared.
They split it with Miami.
I hate the sharing.
They should have played one more game, so we could have destroyed them.
Yeah, they should have just played Miami.
Yeah, that would have been great. National championship before the national championship existed.
Exactly.
That would have been great.
Of course, it costs too much to play that game. Especially when you need a neutral site. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't ready for it.
Yep. All right.
Well, we're running up on an hour. So I think we're gonna have to call that for today, everybody.
Gotta play some Left 4 Dead. Let's play some Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, we're gonna go play some Left 4 Dead. We tried to get Rocket League going last time. We weren't able to get that to work.
I might be able to fix it now. But
okay.
I think I know what happened.
Maybe we'll record Left 4 Dead then.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead should work. I did it with Valorant, and I had minimal lag issues.
Okay, we'll try it. So yeah, we're gonna sign off for now. We're gonna play some Left 4 Dead. We'll try and get some of that content out to you all. Again, you can find me, ZeldaMariners, aka Ryan, on all social media platforms at ZeldaMariners. And you can find my friend Danilo here at Tito177 on most social media platforms as well. Do you have anything else to add, sir?
This podcast is going to change over the course of the next, few weeks to months. So the scheduling of it, may change. It's subject to change as well. But we'll hopefully have a lot of content, either in the realm of streaming or these podcasts themselves. So just be on the lookout for all that stuff on our social media.
Oh yeah, and the social media for the group here is. Do we have any Twitter account or anything for Beta Bros?
Oh, we should. We have a Beta Bros Studios account.
Okay.
On Twitter.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, really?
Gotta find it. Yeah, I don't know if we have a. Oh no, we do. Yeah, it's at Beta Bros Studios on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then it is.
Oh, Super Beta Bros on YouTube.
Yes, YouTube.com/SuperBetaBros. Mm-hmm. Or you could just search Beta Bros Studios, and we will be there.
Yeah, because we were followed by, remember Super Panic Frenzy?
Yes, I do remember that.
Well, they follow us on Twitter.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, nice.
Yep.
We haven't posted anything in 4 years.
Yep, exactly. So.
But very nice. All right, we're gonna call it there then. We'll see you guys all next time.
Bye.
Whether it be in-game or on podcast.
Yep.
Okay, everybody, bye.
Peace.
Bye. Bye. Bye.